Welcome to What If We Can Change It All, the podcast.
A podcast created by Movement.Medicine.
My name is Shadisa.
And my name is Janina.
We believe that we have the power and therefore we can change it all.
This podcast is all about reclaiming your power. Good. So, welcome everyone to a new episode. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Hanna Bier. And the beautiful thing is that we actually don't really know each other. An old podcast guest recommended her to us. So we were like very curious. And then we looked her up and we loved everything that she's doing. So it felt very aligned. So do you mind introducing yourself a little bit more?
Okay, so I'm obviously very honored. My best friend Ashley was actually a guest on your podcast, and that's how we connected. And so anybody that Ashley recommends, I'm always a yes to. So I'm really excited to be getting to know you guys. My name is Hannah. I live in the south of Germany. I have a little daughter, and we spend all day outside. And when we're not playing in the mud, I'm a money healer. So I help people heal their relationship with money, create financial overflow, always have lots of money, so we can begin to make decisions based on choice versus based on money.
Mm-hmm. I think we're both really love that and also are very like keen for that, right? Because and one thing that we also really could feel like watching your profile on Instagram and like your website and stuff is that like how important it is, but also how much of a negative topic it still is in society, which is not helping our financial situations at all, but how that is just so programmed within us that people just think I need to work hard and I need to do more, but sometimes that's not really the case. Sometimes it's something internally that needs to shift. So I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah. And then I love what you said. And then the other piece that I'm seeing is that so many of us then go into the healing communities, into the spiritual communities, and many of us begin to feel the sense of shame because we think, is it bad to make money? You know, I need money, but like, is it spiritual? Is it, ethical? Is it shallow? And I for a long time didn't really know where I fit because I don't want the big house and the big fat car. I don't want to impress anybody with the money that I have. I don't want to have fancy jewelry, but I do love financial freedom. I love the freedom to spend my time doing whatever I want. I love the ability to have money for anything, whether it's a retreat I want to go to, or whether I want to move to a new country, or whether I just want to be home with my child, or, whatever it is that's calling me, whenever my soul calls me to do something. I love having the financial resources to live my life in this congruent kind of way. And so I love that you touched on these like complicated messages that we get about money. And for so many of us, money is this extremely confusing, emotionally complicated topic. And so the intention with my work is that I hope to kind of unravel all of this a little bit for my clients and for my audience to help us find a way forward with money that is life-affirming, that helps us create really beautiful, free, and abundant lives in a way that's aligned with our personal values.
I love that. And I think it's also super important that you shared. I mean, there's like a super hype, I think, on Instagram with coaches like make a lot of money, buy the house you want, have the big car. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you truly desire that, right? Mm-hmm. But I think there's also a lot of people finding something about that and yet still struggle with money. And I think it's beautiful that you shared, I just want the financial freedom, right? I just want it for me and to provide for my daughter and to do just whatever I desire instead of, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, but instead of just like achieving all the big things and the big goals and have this happy Instagram life. I mean, if you truly enjoy it, then it's all good. But I think it's also a huge selling point at this point where it's not always aligned.
Exactly. The way I see money is, so for most of us, it's a huge obstacle. Like me growing up, I constantly heard, we can't do this because of money, or we have to do that because of money, and mom has to work and we can't buy this. And so money was always the decision maker. Mm-hmm. We weren't making the choices that were right for a family, but money was guiding everything. And so for many of us, we feel that way, where money is constantly the obstacle. Money is constantly kind of the hurdle, or this thing that just doesn't feel good. And we know how good life can feel in other aspects of our lives. We know that relationships can feel amazing, our bodies can feel amazing, and our creative expression can feel amazing. But for so many of us, like, money is the last thing that just feels ugh. And even when we have plenty, and even when we run a business that we love, for many of us, there's still just this like sinking feeling in our gut of like, something about this just isn't right. And I love working with money in a way where it becomes a solution, where it becomes the wind in our sails, where it becomes a resource, where it's a form of love that pulls us more deeply into life and helps us experience it more fully, where money becomes a resource for us to have amazing experiences. You know, where money becomes like the stuffy that lets us sleep at night, because we know there's so much in our bank accounts and there's more coming, and there are so many fun clients to work with and so many creative projects. And, you know, we can just play and live and explore and create. And so that's the reality that most of us have never experienced, that I believe the energy of money really wants to bring us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I saw it.
Just out of curiosity, because you shared you started as an energy healer and then family constellations, and now you're all into money. How did that journey go?
I stumbled into it. So originally, I went to university to study fashion, because I always knew I wanted to work internationally, and I had no clue what I was gonna do. I wanted to become a pilot. I'm too short. I'm so short. I wouldn't be able to reach anything. So that's the big heartbreak of my life, that I'm not flying planes. But everything worked out quite okay, because then I went to school for fashion, and I thought, oh, I could just start a fashion company at one point, you know, and work for myself. But I was struggling with CPTSD symptoms and extreme anxiety, extreme depression, and I couldn't get out of bed. And I was really struggling to even go to the lectures and to concentrate enough to take my exams. And so I discovered, you know, healing modalities like meditation and Kundalini yoga. And I was like diving into it. I was living like a modern monk, like getting up at 4 a.m. to do 2 hours of chanting before sunrise and another 6 hours of meditation. And I was high as a kite on meditation, but my life was still a mess. Like, as I was meditating, I was feeling great, but you know, I had no money. And like late at night, I was so worried. And so I started healing myself. And over time, it was working so well that my friends and family started coming to me for healing. And then before I even knew it, I had a business and had all these clients, and more clients came. And then over the years, more and more clients had these amazing, so I was specializing in emotional release, emotional healing, and trauma release. And over time, my clients got these amazing money side effects. We weren't working on money, but all of a sudden, you know, the promotion showed up and the businesses were created and the money showed up, and they were just really doing very well with money. So more and more people came to me for money healing. And so that's kind of how I stumbled into it. And along the way, I just kind of abandoned fashion, you know, because this new business was so interesting.
I honestly loved also that you tapped into that, because that also shows how connected everything is. We often like think, okay, I need to work on this and or that, and we're like so focused and so tuned into that we forget, oh, but actually everything is connected. So if I work in this, it's probably gonna ripple out to the rest of my life as well, right? So I think that is really important that you tapped into that, because sometimes it is good with when you are working like on something on specific topics, that you just zoom out a bit and see, okay, maybe just let that rest for now and go to something else, and then you see, oh, I'm still working on it anyway. So I think that's really beautiful and important also that you showed that.
I love that insight that you just brought, because it's especially true with money, because money is an expression of love. When we were little, our parents were supposed to meet our needs, you know, like they were supposed to love us and care for us and give us, you know, a snuggly bed to sleep in and lovely jammies to wear and, you know, toys to play with. And so our parents ideally would have been our main source of love, or the main caretakers around us. And then as we grow up, we're supposed to use money to love ourselves. We're supposed to use money to have a wonderful home and to, you know, buy a plane ticket to go to our best friend's wedding, or you know, to book that retreat that's going to help us grow and expand and feel better about ourselves. And so money is an expression of love. So that's why I personally, I know on the surface, it can seem as though my work is so shallow. It's, money, money, money. And it's a really deep healing journey where we open up the flow of love in all aspects of your life. We open up the flow within yourself so that you feel more love towards yourself, feel more love in your business, feel more love with money, and receive love in the form of money. So how can it not affect all aspects of your life? Money is an amazing guide and teacher. And I remember when I was deep in the soup of all of my money stuff, it always felt as though money was pushing all the sorest, most hurting buttons in me. It was always it showed me all the places where I didn't think so my whole thing was, I can't do this. I shouldn't do this. I'm too weak to do this. I'm not interesting enough to do this. I don't know how to do this. All of these can'ts and stops is what I had. And I was like, well, other people can be amazing business owners and other people can be seen. And other people, Ashley, my best friend, she's so extroverted. I'm very introverted. Give me a book in a cave and you won't see me for months and I'll be so happy. But being in business requires, or, money requires that we're allowing ourselves to be in relationship with people and allowing ourselves to be seen and allowing ourselves to share the gifts and talents that we have and receive appreciation in the form of money in return. And so along the way, we need to break down all of these barriers that we've built, because being an amazing receiver with money requires us to be mushy. When I do energy clearings with my clients, I'm clairvoyant, so I see energy. And a big part of my work is clearing out the gunky energy, all the emotional baggage that we accumulate over the course of our lives. And once that goes, my clients often say, oh God, I feel so mushy. I still feel so vulnerable. Some of them think that they're tired, but it's really a state of relaxation that they're feeling. And from that place, money flows in so much more easily because we're receptive. And so that's what I love about money, is that it always shows us exactly the next place to heal within you. And what's lovely is that the emotional growth begins to happen, and that feels amazing. And you get money as a side effect, and you can just do with it whatever you want. It's like you get paid to heal yourself. I mean, that's the best thing. I think it's amazing.
It is. And I think it's so good that we tap into this, because I think a lot of people, I don't want to, but a lot of people see money as something superficial, right? And something that's mean and evil and something we have to do and we have to work and then it's hard to get it and la la la. But there's a whole other side, but it takes time and effort and healing and going within to find that as well, for most people. And some people, no, there's always something. But yeah, and I think we forget that it can generate so much self-love, and with that so much flow and ease in life, if we start embracing all of that, right? And actually, I feel it's really about starting embracing ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when we can have a strong flow of love towards ourselves, we will love ourselves enough to also let ourselves receive love in the form of money. It's all about this receptivity. And for many of us, it feels a lot safer to be the giver, to be the one who always listens and supports others, and the one who is very busy and very generous, but then receiving can feel very vulnerable. And so for anybody listening who kind of has some receiving issues, that might be a really good place to start in healing that.
Yeah, me too. Can I go to the next question?
Yeah, go.
So, you have something that's called Hanna Money Bliss. So how would you define money bliss? What is that for you?
Yeah, so I stumbled into being a business owner and into being a healer, and I also stumbled into the money stuff, right? My story shows that. And as I was, so I was pregnant with my daughter, Grace, and I thought everybody hates money. Money feels terrible for pretty much everyone I know. And, the people who have a lot, the millionaire friends that I have feel terrible about money. The people who don't have money, the people who work, the people who are entrepreneurs, what the hell is going on? And so I'm clairvoyant. I'm very intuitive, and I've always been this way. When I was a little kid, I was always talking to the fly on the wall and talking to the dog and talking to Jesus. And to me, it was normal because I don't know, it's so real to me. It's as real as the furniture in the room where I'm sitting right now. And so when I see people, I see like dark clouds and colors, and I see, oh, there was some heartbreak around the age of 7, and oh, there was this, and oh, there was that. And I don't even know how to perceive reality any other way. It's just how it's always been. And so the honeybee came to visit me, the energetic archetype of the honeybee. And she said, Hannah, I'm going to teach you about money. And so she's my teacher on, I hope it's okay to share this because some people think I'm batshit crazy, but the money bliss philosophy was co-created by me and the honeybee archetype. And so the honeybee taught me how to be in community, how to love, how to let resources flow, how to create this like blissful, joyful, busyness of work. Like she loves to work. She loves being busy. She loves buzzing around. She's like, oh, there's a flower, and there's a flower, and there's a flower. And she just wants to like take all the pollen and make amazing nectar. And she makes honey in the dark, so she's completely comfortable with going into the dark, into the underworld, into the underside to create delicious, amazing honey. And she taught me like how safe, right, and good it is to create lots and lots of honey and to enjoy honey and to share honey because everybody loves honey, and to not be like skeptical of the sweetness of it. Like honey is so overtly sweet. Like it's so sweet. Like it's just so perfect, right? And so it can sometimes seem as though, like being rich and wealthy, like, is that too good to be true? It's like honey. It tastes delicious. Try it. It's the best. And so as I was, sitting with the honeybee archetype, and she was teaching me and showing me her world and telling me what to teach and how to, heal people's money stuff and all of that. The words money bliss kept coming in because the bee was always like bliss, 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 bliss. Money, 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 money. Love money. Like bees love money, because then it's the same as creating honey, like it even sounds the same. And so that's how the term money bliss came from. And so it kind of shows like the simplest, like it shows the exact outcome that people get from working with me. You get a lot of money and you get a lot of bliss. And I'm just so grateful for the honeybee and everything that she taught me. Like I read all the financial books, like believe me, and I talked to all the people, and nothing made as much sense as the abundance creating tools and mindsets that the honeybee taught me. Like if anybody mastered abundance, it's that little animal.
I absolutely love this story.
Yeah, me too.
I think.
So on my book, do you see that? So if you see bees, wait.
Yeah.
If you see bees all over my stuff, I think there's even a bee inside. I asked, so I asked the person who formatted it to put like bees in my book, but I think it ended up going with a different thing. So if you're reading my book, like this is not a coincidence. It's supposed to be a little reminder of like bringing in the archetype of the honeybee, and you can dream with the honeybee at night and just ask her to teach you about money and abundance and being in community and joyful creation and in creative expression and creating sweet things in your life. And it's amazing. When clients work with me, they get a little bracelet with like a bee charm, so, and then I always get like messages from my clients like, I just pulled this card with a bee on it, or, we went to my daughter's best friend, and of course he was drinking out of a bottle, because they're tiny babes, with like bees on it, so like bees begin to show up everywhere and they begin to guide you.
I really honestly love that.
Yeah.
And I think what makes it also so intriguing is that sometimes we are like so looking for things like outside of us and also outside of nature, and just to connect back with the bee, like with nature is making honey. Like sometimes it just needs to be simple, and we find it's very difficult to accept that as human beings, because it needs to be complicated, and we indeed need to read all the books and all like from ages ago and like from lifetimes ago, and like words are different, but we still read all of them and we go through it, and then we get frustrated because it doesn't work, because like it's different, and then it's like this whole thing is going on in our heads, right? But sometimes, just like you said, connecting back to the bee or connecting back to nature, which kind of is the same thing, is like so important, because we as humans are also nature. So I think that's really, really honestly beautiful, and I love that you incorporated the bee like everywhere as well. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we forget how important nature is, especially in the city lives, right? We're living and but it actually shows us everything, right? It's just such a big mirror and we forget how much wisdom we can get from it.
Yeah. One of my I have like a couple of secret missions with my clients. So when somebody works with me, they always come and say, I want to make more money. And sure, we can create that. And so one of the secret missions that I have is, as we clear out all of your money and success blocks, and we clear out everything, because my clients always come and they always kind of know what's going on. It's like, I have a block of receiving. I don't feel like it's safe, right, and good to allow change to show up in my life. I'm not allowing myself to be seen in my business, or I don't even know how to achieve my money goals, or I don't even have a vision. I don't even really know what I want, or I feel so deeply uncomfortable in my body. Like all of these different blocks, we clear them, and we clear everything else. It's like taking the deepest, most cleansing inner shower, which just clear you out all the way. And then you feel really light and bright and excited and energized. And it's a great place, it feels amazing. And there's a hidden agenda there too. When you release that much energy, your awareness opens up and your intuition opens up. And so one of the things that I discovered when I first went into like the spiritual community was I discovered the word psychic. And at first I was like, well, that's not me, because that sounds magical, And to me, being like really intuitive, like many people would call me psychic, it feels so normal to me. Like, why wouldn't I just go talk to the honeybee and ask her questions and get a response? Why wouldn't I just go and like travel to the seraphim, angels, and just like hang with them for a moment in my sleep? Like I remember doing ayahuasca and I was so disappointed. I was like, that's like what I do at night. Like I thought it was gonna be like and so I have to throw up for this. Like, no, not doing this again. Like, no, and the medicine doesn't taste very nice, and don't do rapé on me. So that was kind of my thing. And so one of the side effects, you might hate me for this, but one of the side effects, if you like ayahuasca, by all means, keep going. What I'm saying though, is that when you clear your energy at such a deep level, your intuition opens up and you don't need an intermediary. If you love being loved by plant medicine and spirits in that way, go ahead. And you don't need it. You don't need a priest, you don't need a religion, you don't need anything in order to access the divine, in order to access subtle reality. So all of my clients, I get all these messages all the time of like, and then I dreamed about this, and then I saw this, and then I saw that, and then all these colors started showing up, because it's there. It's just that we need to kind of open you up so you can perceive all of those things. And then you can go directly, like I said, you can talk to the honeybee, or you can talk to your clients' souls, or you can talk to the soul of your business and see what it needs. And that makes life, it's like most of us just like we have our awareness completely shut down, and then life feels really scary. But when you're so intuitive, you can very easily ask questions like, where's my next 10,000 coming from? What am I going to sell to like enroll the next 5 clients? Who should I talk to? What's the price point for my stuff? What event, can I go to? Or what podcast should I pitch myself to that would bring me the next like 10 clients or 20 clients or 30 clients? And so so that's like one of the side effects that I love so much. So anybody who's listening, was like, oh, well, this sounds like magical and so cool. Like everybody should be aware in this way. Like animals in nature are completely aware and instinctual. Like dogs send images. I have a client and she's now talking to her dog. And I'm like, yeah, you can just send things. Like the dog wants to talk to you, like it's so strange that humans make it so complicated sometimes. We go into churches and temples and talk to priests in order to hopefully access the divine. Like, why don't we go there directly? And so the key to doing that is to really clear yourself out so you can get all the answers for yourself.
Yeah. Love that, because we are so used to also give our wisdom away, right? Or power to go somewhere else and find and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, right? Sometimes it's good to get help or to go to someone to clear and la 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 la. But most of the time we just give it away, and then we want to receive something without going within and without connecting to our core or our intuition. And I think it's so important to start tapping into that again. And if you need help with that, to seek help for that and go there and find I find truly the power that you are, right? I find truly that all that you're capable of.
And
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
just like really go out of the head, right, and into the body, but also like doing the energetic things, because we
Yes.
always want to think our way out of things and solve it in our heads, right? Because sometimes there's just, like you said, gunk that needs to go out first in order to really tap into yourself and tap into your own wisdom. So I think that's really, really powerful as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels so good. It's so nice to be able to see so clearly. I love it so much. I can't imagine, because I had both, you know, where I was clairvoyant, but I was also so full of emotional baggage and stuff. I needed to clear it within myself. And so I'm enjoying it so much, being able to see, and especially with my clients, if anybody's listening and you're providing healing services, it's really helpful. Like, I love it. I love being able to read my clients. I love being able to be like, we're going to clear this, we're going to clear that, going to open this up, we're going to stretch this and then expand your capacity here. And this needs to go. And then you're going to feel amazing. And then we're going to have you do all of these like 5 things in your business. And then you're going to get to that, the predictability that this creates. I just love, because for so many of us, we're like, life is unpredictable. Let's hope for the best. It doesn't really have to be this way, because when we can live from a place of awareness and choice, we can weave the reality that we really want.
Yeah. Ooh, I love this. I didn't watch the time actually, but if people are listening and this is all very, very new to them and they want to start, but they have no clue how, what would you suggest as a first small starting point they can do at home? Or
Yeah, well, a great starting point is to get my book. It's called Wealth from Within. You can find it on Amazon. You can also find it on my website, hannabier.com/book, and you can grab a copy. People keep asking me for the audiobook. The audiobook is not ready yet. I'm very sorry. So you guys are going to have to do it the old school way and read with your eyes. And there's also a free subliminal on my website, hannabier.com/subliminal. It's much more powerful than most subliminals. It clears you out and it fills you in with new energy. It's called the Money Bliss Subliminal. So you're also welcome to start with that. And then you can like see if you can begin to take, to clear your own energy. So the book describes the light showers that I was talking about. So as you're reading the book, just start to have a daily practice of washing yourself with the light. So just as every day we should be brushing our teeth and like brushing our hair and like shower every once in a while. Most of us, we never clear our emotional state. And so if you're somebody who does like hypnosis and EFT and read lots of books, it's like putting more stuff in. And so my invitation is to clear yourself out, be a little empty, find the space within you, and then just live from that place for a while, because it's going to feel really amazing.
I love that.
is there anything else you want to add?
I'm just thinking about it because I'm like, ooh. I think there's lots to ask, to be honest.
Is there anything you want to add as well?
Did you want to? Oh, yeah.
I think so. For many of you guys listening, there's this feeling of truth in your body as you're listening, and some things might resonate and feel true and feel powerful, and yet your conscious mind can't understand it. There might be a feeling in your body of like, something about this feels right. Something about this feels light and interesting for me. But your conscious mind might be like, what the hell is this? Because it's completely contrary to how we've been taught to do money and perceive money. And so follow that feeling of truth in your own body and explore this topic a little more for you, because money, you will not be able to escape it. I know many of us dream of like being in like communes in the woods and being self-sustaining so we can escape this like stupid thing called money. But even in a commune, you exchange appreciation. There's barter. Like, that's what money is. It's an exchange of love and appreciation between humans. It's an ability for you to create and to see how you can contribute positive things to life on the planet. You won't be able to escape money. And so you might as well master it. You know, if you can have like the rest of your life loving money, being amazing at money, always having tons of money, sleeping soundly at night because more money is coming in, waking up in the morning like, I made more money in my sleep. You know, that's a really fun place to be. It is safe, right, and good to have a lot of money and to let money love you and nourish you and comfort you and delight you and keep you safe and open doors for you and show you the way.
I love that ad. I think that was also something that needed to be said as well. So thank you for that ad, because yeah.
Shall we go to our last question?
Yes.
So we always end our episodes with the ultimate tip for the listeners. So what would your ultimate
You
tip?
already gave a lot of tips.
Yes.
Ultimate tip.
Ultimate tip.
My ultimate tip will be read my book,
Mm.
learn to clear yourself out. That's the simplest place to start. And then if you're an entrepreneur and you think you're bad at business, or you're feeling deflated when you look at your bank balance, or you're just not excited about doing your taxes, it's a reminder that you're not really where you want to be. You need to master marketing and sales. You know, everybody should be clearing their energy, releasing all of their money and success blocks, and mastering marketing and sales. And so as you're listening, definitely do the light shower and then figure out, you know, am I in business? Do I want to be in business? And if yes, master it now. Master it now before you begin to internalize, you know, wrong beliefs that you're not good enough and you can't do it and nobody wants what you have to offer, and, you know, all of that stuff that's just not true.
I love that. And for the people that don't have a business, and what would you suggest them? Because I think there's also like this mind of, okay, but I don't have a business, so I just work a corporate job or whatever you do. What can I do, or how can this help me?
Yeah, from my perspective, you're still in business because you're selling your services to a company. You can't escape sales. You can't escape. So this is the bad news. I hope I gave you some good news on this episode, but here comes like the bad news. I hope you'll still love me, even though, you know, it just has to be said. So here it goes. You are in sales and marketing, whether you like it or not, and you can't escape money, whether you like it or not. So you can have this like dark cloud follow you around in your life and constantly feel bad with every interaction with money and resist this, or you can just master it, learn it, get over yourself. I'm saying this with a lot of love, and just let yourself actually feel free and good. And so even when you're working a job, you're selling your services to a company, you know? And so one of the things that my clients do, you know, some of my clients only work jobs. Some of my clients have like a hybrid where they run a business and they have a job. Some of my clients, it changes over time. You know, some of us want to work for a company and then we want to work for ourselves. Like there's no, like you make money however it works for you. Like you can make a lot of money working for a company. You can make a lot of money working for yourself. Like, you know, there are no limits either way. But even when you sell your services to a company, it would be lovely if you could do a really good job and like get really good deals for yourself. You know, like get a really good salary and a really good bonus and like really good terms, you know? So those of you who are like, well, I don't have to learn it. Yes, you do. I'm sorry.
Thank you for clearing that. Yeah. Because I think there's a lot of people that's like, well, this is not for me because I have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, not true.
You already tapped into it a bit, but how can people find you?
Yeah. So you guys have been watching my Instagram, yes? So you're welcome to join the two. My Instagram handle is Hanna Money Bliss. If you want to check out my website, that's hannabier.com. And like I said, my book is called Wealth from Within, and you can find it on Amazon.
Love that. I would say go do it all. Go follow it all, go buy it all, go do it all. We honestly want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I think this was exactly what we were hoping to get. As we were looking at your stuff, and we were like, I think she's amazing. And she was like, I also stalked her. I think she's also really amazing. So really thank you. It was so nice to have you as a guest, and for your trust to do this with two complete strangers. So really thank you so much.
I'm blushing. This was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Do we have to share anything else? No, right?
No.
No. Then thank you so much for listening, for being here again. We will be back next week with some more medicine, and yeah, stay tuned. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.